Hey everybody, I am author MelissaLeigh-Ann, author of ADHD, The Help We So Desperately Needed, and Alex's Alphabet Frenzy, as well as the Kindle Vella episodic reading, the Del Victors, which is a vampire series. If you guys like vampires, obviously I do. You see my whole wall has Twilight all over it. I love Twilight. Transition and Honey, I'm Home. I like to write a lot of urban novels, erotic reading. I do, on the other side, complete opposite side, write children's books for mental health. And I really like to write anything that's controversial, to be honest. That's just the type of work that I'm in. I love doing that. That's just what I do. Also have a book coming out in January called Alias. It is available for pre-order on Amazon. Now that I got all that out, I'm almost out of breath. I want to come to you guys today and share with you guys how to get started. And this process may look different for everybody. In fact, it's going to look different for everybody. I started writing, years and years ago, but I didn't start publishing until recently. I did start looking up and researching things like publishing businesses, starting your own publishing business. I did that a couple years ago, probably about 5 years ago. I started my own publishing business, and that's simply because I'm an indie author, so I'm gonna end up self-publishing. So if you're gonna learn the business of how to self-publish, you may as well make it a lucrative business for yourself as well. Very important part, and I probably will make a whole video on that and how to do that. But I will say that's probably one of the most important things that I didn't actually include in this is if you're going to be an indie author, might as well start a publishing business. Especially if you're business minded like I am, start your own publishing business. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to number one. If you see me looking over here, it's because I'm looking at my notes. So number one, I would say start a website. And I know a lot of people are like, don't do that till after you start, getting stuff together. But I like to start my website because I feel like, one, it makes everything look more professional. I feel like you can link everything to your website. And that just gives everybody a very centered place to find all of your information. That is a great one. Actually just thought about another one, so I want to write that down before I forget it. Great thing to use is Wix. A lot of people use Wix. I never really liked Wix, and I don't know if that's because I started a couple years ago trying to use Wix, or if I just like Vistaprint better, which I do, both of them. Wix is a free website. You can get more things if you pay for it, but Vistaprint is $25 per month for your website. You do get your domain name with that as well as you do with Wix. I think that Vistaprint is just easier to navigate, to be honest. I think it's easier. And I can have my shop and everything I need to have already on my website. I don't have to pay extra for that. I can put all my merch right in my website on Vistaprint. So I would say try Vistaprint. But if you're tight on money, like a lot of us are, try using Wix. Number two, make social media pages. This should be obvious. This is kind of obvious, but some people don't know. Go ahead and start making social media pages. I was kind of against making social media pages at first because I don't really use Instagram. I don't really use Snapchat. See, I don't really use Snapchat very often. Twitter, I don't really use those. So I was kind of like, I don't really need them. But in the long run, you're going to need them, and you're going to wish that you started when you started your business, because that way you have more time and you're not just starting from scratch just as you're starting to publish, because then you're not going to have as many followers and you're not going to have such a major audience. Number three is research your genre. Research what you're writing, different things like the layouts of the books and what sizes they usually are, and what is your book matter, what it usually is, and who's your audience. Find out who your audience is, because that's going to be very, very important, especially when you are doing your social media pages. Let's see. And this one may seem obvious as well, but one of the major things that we need to do is set up your own space. So anyways, one of the major things that we need to do is set up your own space, because you need your own private little area to work, and it's important for your, I'm stuck. It's important for you to have your own space so that you can be mentally well. You need a space to write and be creative. You cannot be creative if you're cluttered or you've got too much stuff going on in your space. So, or in your area. So you need to create something, even if it's just a small area in a room, just for you. That means no kids in there, no husband or wife, you know, just for you to be creative and be who you are and do whatever you need to do. In fact, I actually have set my little area up on the side of my bedroom. I had a whole garage, but I was really never out there because shutting a door for me is really hard as a parent of 7. So as soon as I shut that door, they're all on me, or I'm worried about what's going on in the kitchen or the living room or the rest of the house. And so I actually just took initiative and said, okay, I'm going to change my whole room around and I'm going to push this area off for just me. Of course, my wife was jealous and she said, oh, I want one too. No, this is mine. You can't have your own space. This is for me. So anyways, document your journey is my number 6. You never know what you're doing if it's going to help anybody else. So just like for me doing the vlogging or the YouTubing, I wasn't really sure if it would help anybody, but I knew that it was important enough for me, or to me, that if it could help somebody else, I wanted to put it out there. Recently, about a year ago, my wife and I were driving, and we actually helped this lady out, and her name is Cheryl, and she owns a nonprofit now, but back then she was wanting to be in recovery and they couldn't find a place for her, and everybody looked at her like, something was wrong with her. And honestly, a little bit of me did too, but I knew that I wanted to help her. So my wife and I went and bought her a hotel room and got her some food, and we really didn't think it was a major thing. In fact, we were like kind of relieved when she got out of the car, and I was like, okay, let's not do that again. But I had given her my number and she knew where I worked at, so she visited me a couple days later and she was like, I'm getting better, I found a spot, and I just wanted to say thank you because you helped us out, you helped me out so much. And I really didn't think that I did anything or that we did anything, but it's been a year now and she still texts me and she still checks up on me and she lets me know all of her progress. And I'm so glad that she felt like, even though we didn't feel like it, she felt like we made a change for her. So she changed. I mean, she has gotten completely better now. She did find out that she had pancreatic cancer, which was kind of sad. She's in stage 2, but she's getting chemo, and now she has a nonprofit to help other people and herself go through chemo, which is called Cans for Cancer. And so she's working on that now. But my point with that is that you never really know who you're touching and what you're doing. Even if you think that you didn't do much, or you really kind of reluctant to do it, you may really be helping somebody who really needs somebody to just say, hey, I see you. So I say document everything. Write it down. Just keep it in a journal. Even if you just throw it in a drawer somewhere, keep it, because at some point somebody may need it, and it may be helpful to them to know what you did and what you went through to get where you're at. And number 7, I think that everybody should have one of these. I wish I could show you, but it's on the back of my phone. Oh, I do have it on my phone case, and I took it off so I could video. So let me show you. This little thing right here, this is a Popl. I'm gonna link mine in the description. No, I'm not paid to say this, but I just want to tell you guys, this is a business card. It is just a digital business card. So you can literally, somebody can open up their camera on their phone and tap this, and it'll open up a link like a QR code. Excuse me, I have hiccups. It will open up links to whatever you put on it. So your main page, your website, your social media, your Cash App, your phone numbers, your text messages, whatever you want to link to this, like your virtual business card, it will be there, and it will pop up with a whole description of you, whatever you put there in the very first part of it. I'm going to link it. I'm going to link you mine so you can see what mine looks like as well. And this is actually another form of passive income. I need to make sure I write that down too, because, and I'm going to link that at another video. In fact, I'm about to do one just in a few minutes. Passive, let me write this down. Income. Okay. You have to write it down as it comes to you when you have ADHD, I promise you. I actually did tell everybody that in one of my other videos. But anyways, get yourself one of these when you first start out. It is so much better than carrying around a stack of business cards and trying to keep them fresh and neat and nice. This is a lifesaver. It's about 20 bucks, I think. But if you use my code, I think you get like 10% off of it. So try this. It's called Popl, P-O-P-L. Like I said, I will link the description below. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. Remember, meditate, because your mental wellness is important to you and it's important to me. Meditate, take time for yourself. Even if you only have 5 minutes, just go breathe somewhere. Take some deep breaths. And as always, don't be good, be great, and be a boss. Bye.